Hello amigos, my name is Jatin and welcome to my channel TECHYRATORS. This is our next video on RHCSA preparation series, and our today's topic is IP configuration in Linux operating system, specifically in RHEL OS. And in this video I'll show you how to configure IPv4, gateway, DNS and hostname in Linux operating system. So without wasting any time, let's get started with our today's topic now. Now let's open your terminal. So this is our terminal and we are now up with the new topic of configuration of IP in Linux operating system. I'll show you different methods to configure the IP. And if you don't know what is IP, if you want to know in detail about internet protocol, I also added a video previously, so you can watch and clear your doubts in about the IP. I can give you the link in description and you can watch this the IP video in the I button up there. So now starting with the IP configuration. Now we have two methods to configure the IP. One we can use with the graphical, one with the command line method. I'll generally prefer command line method, so just start with that. We have nmcli command for that, nmcli connection show. So this command shows the present connection in our system. This highlighted with green is the active connection, and we have also two connection up there. So now we are creating a new connection. Let's say nmcli connection at name, let's say RHEL, type Ethernet, connect, yes, name ETH0. So this ETH0 is our device name. You can check the device with the ifconfig command or IPA command. I can show you after this command runs. Let's say to connect, yes, type Ethernet, enter. So connection RHEL successfully added. So we have now created a dynamic connection, and when we type nmcli connection show, it's the RHEL connection added there. This is a dynamic connection. This take IP and gateway and DNS details from the dynamic host control protocol, that is DHCP server. But we have to create now a static IP. First let's say how you can check the device name. This is the available device in our system, and use a config to check the device name. Now let's come towards configuring the static IP. Let's give it RHEL 8. Everything will remain same. In the end we have to add IP version 4. Let's say you have to give an IP of 172.31.39. let's say 10 slash subnet mask that you call prefix, let's say 24, say GW4 172.31.39.1 IPv4.DNS 72.31.39.1 IPv4 method manual. So now we are setting the static connection. This is our IP and this is the gateway, that is a subnet. Now directly a subnet, it represents the subnet, that is 255.255.255.0. Now this is our IP, this is our gateway. You can configure all in different commands, but in single command it's much more better to configure all the things like IP, gateway, DNS. Now this is the DNS of version IPv4, and we have set the method to manual. Manual means we have to up the connection manually, it can't up automatically. So when we say enter, it's say invalid setting. Oh, we have to give IP4 instead of IPv4. You have to use IP4. Yes, enter. Now connection relay successfully added. Now if you check nmcli connection show, you see relay connection added. If you want to up this connection, say connection up and the connection name. I'm not upping this connection due to connectivity issue, so let's leave it. Connection show. If you want to know in detail about your connection, give a specific name, that's rel8. You want to select the connection show. Now the rel8 connection details shows here, all the related connection here. This is the interface name, that is a device. You can just roll it down to know more details, like your IP, no, that's your DNS, that's your IP address, that's your gateway, and you can check other basic details of that particular IP. So this is the method, this is the command line method to configure your IP in your system. Now talking towards graphical method, you can use command nmtui in your terminal and enter, and after entering this command you are entered into the network manager TUI. Here you can do the same thing in a graphical way. Let's say if you want to add a connection, you can edit already added connection or delete already added connection. I'm here adding a new connection, let's say Ethernet, and you have to give a name, cell, let's say 7, device ETH0, and the IPv4 is automatic, we have to give it manual. Show, here we have to add the IP, let's say 172.3.1.39.10/24. Now gateway is 172.31.39.1, DNS is 172.31.39.0.1. Now automatic connect, we don't want this to automatically connect. You can use space bar to select or deselect any option. Okay, now rel7 connection added. You can also edit this connection, like simple thing you want to edit, and if you want to delete a particular connection, you can delete it by just selecting delete and delete. Now the rel8 connection is deleted and the rel7 connection we have created here. Now quit. Here you can also activate a connection, just select activate and select the rel7 to activate it. We are not going to activate this connection now. You can also set hostname. Let's say you want to set hostname, that TECHYRATORS 1. Let's say okay, set hostname to TECHYRATORS 1. Okay, So now the host name changes to TECHYRATOR1 and the IP also configured. Let's say connection show. We have rel7, rel8 will be deleted. Let's say rel7. You can check the basic details here. Let's say your IPv4 method is manual, DNS is that, IP address is that, and all the things you want to know related to your IP. That's how you can configure the IP with two different ways, in graphically and through command line. Now the configuration file of an IP stored in cd/etc network sysconfig network scripts -scripts, enter ls. So here is your rel7 connection configuration file. If you say cat ifcfg -rel7, enter, you see different details here. Also you can create a file in this directory to create a new connection. You can up this test connection by if up command and the connection in, let's say rel7. You can up this connection and activate it with the nmcli command. You just have to remind this thing. The important thing here is the type. You can add the proxy method or not add. It's not compulsory. This is not compulsory. You have to set the boot protocol. You have to set the IP, that's the prefix, gateway, DNS, and the default route. These things you don't need to set. These are by default set automatically. The name UUID is not important. The on boot and divide. If you can copy this and add to a next file, you can also configure the new IP name or new, let's say, connection and up this in your terminal. So this is how you can configure the IP and configure the hostname. I'm also showing you the method to configure the hostname through the command line. So we have a command, let's say set facl. We have set, we have command host name ctl set -name, and you can add the hostname, let's say tech, enter. The hostname is added. When you check host name, enter, tech. So this add change the host name temporary basis. So when you it can add the input not a temporary basis, in permanent basis. The configuration file is cat/etc/name. You see host name changes, or you can directly enter the host name in that particular file. Let's say vi/etc/name. Okay, we have given the wrong spellings. Name, enter. You just need to remove this tag and let's say techy, enter. When you check the host name with the hostname command, it doesn't change it because this file entry needs a reboot. So when you exit, do the shell and enter again, the hostname changes to tech. Now you see here the hostname changes to tech. So this is all about the IP configuration, gateway configuration, DNS configuration, and hostname configuration. You can also modify your connection. Let's say nmcli connection notify let's say 7 IPv4.DNS space, let's say 172.168.122.1, enter. Now if you check the nmcli connection, show rel 7, enter. Now you can see that the DNS will changes. Now this is all about the IP configuration, IP configuration modification, and different types, different techniques to configure the IP in the system. So this is all about today's video. You can also check the history. You can note the command we used, like minimizing it. Let's say you can note it from here, and these are all the commands we use to configure the IP. This is the utility to configure the IP graphically. Now this is all about the today's video. We can meet you in the next video. Now, for now, bye bye and take care.